We're still not riding very high off of whatever over there.
We're done with our tests.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is under, what do we call it, slope intercept form? I will give you a review and then you shall be free to do much math. As Lauren will testify in his Who? Speak in complete sentences, please. Slope intercept form, and again, I would put a separate piece of paper that says linear equations. Can anybody tell me why it's called a linear equation?
It's line equations. Equations that make lines. Yeah. Lines that make sense.
So, I could say this. Yeah, okay. So the generic form again is y equals mx plus b. That is like the formula. You can't graph that because there's no numbers there. You will be given both the m and the b, and you'll form a line. So let's say y equals 3/5 x plus 2. Are you with me on this?
Yes. Yes.
I will give it to you in the simple step forms here because most of you can't do this without the simple step form. Number 1, plot. Did we do this already?
Yes.
The y intercept. And again, that is this number right here. So you have your graph at where y is plus 2, you put a dot. That graph will fall there. Does anybody know why that is? Anybody out there? It is all. How do you know that? What? Let me ask you. If I asked you to give me this point in coordinates, what would that point be? Zachary?
0,
Plus 2, or 2. Correct?
yes.
0, 2. What happens if you put 0, which is your x number, in for x here? What is 3/5 times 0?
0.
So 0 plus 2 is 2. So really what you're doing is you're just getting rid of this, and you say, oh, y has to be 2 because that's. All right, step number 2. Let's go purple. From that plotted point, use the number in front of x to make, I don't want to say a triangle. Let's say, can I get rid of all that? No, like that. Use that number in front of x. Go up the top number and over the bottom number. What do we call that? Slope. Slope, children. This is using the slope. So from the point you've already got, and I think somebody asked me, couldn't I go down or shouldn't I go down? Who asked me that? It don't matter. Go up or down, your call. Either way, it's going to work. I'm going up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I could go over 5 this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I could go down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way. Now with all those points, how do I know which 2 I'm picking or what I'm picking? The key is this. The key is the slope positive or negative? Because only one set of dots is going to work with that slope. This is positive slope, so that means that the line has to go uphill. So if you're picking this point, it's going uphill that way, and it's also going uphill this way. So these would be the two. You don't need to pick all those points, but I'm just showing you it doesn't matter whether you go up or down, because you're going to go over either direction there. Isn't that not simple as can be?
It is very simple as can be. Yes, Mr. Hall.
So here we go, and I will ask you, by the way, to sketch these. On your homework paper you have coordinate systems all over the place. Sketch this for me. Y equals negative 4/5 x minus 3. Negative 4/5 x minus 3, you should be done by now. It is not a long drawn process. There's not a whole lot to this. This is not rocketry. It is in fact geometry. Lesson is this. Have I got it?
Yes.
So it looks like this. Crosses the y-axis at negative 3, 1, 2, 3. From that point, you are going up 4 over 5. Up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which dot is I picking, Sittler?
The one to the left.
The one on the left, because negative slope means it has to go downhill. How many people feel they have a firm grasp of reality? I mean about math. Aaron says no. Now, unfortunately, that's not the end of the story, children. We've got this down. Not only should you be able to go from a linear equation to a graph, but you should also be able to go the other way around, which means this. If I gave you this line, and I asked you to give me the linear equation, by the way, this linear equation would be in slope-intercept form. There are other forms we'll talk about later. What would be the equation of that line? And it might be good for you to start with this. You know it has to be in this form, y equals mx plus b. You need to figure out what the letter b is, and you need to figure out what the letter m is. Zachary, which one can you tell me? Can you tell me what the letter b is? What is the letter b?
Negative 2.
I think it's negative 1, is it not?
1.
Yeah. So your b is minus 1, because that's where it crosses the y-axis. Now you need to figure out what number comes in front of the x. And that you have to do a little bit of, think about a right triangle. And it is how high is that triangle and how wide is that triangle? Who wants to take a stab at that one? Anybody out there? How high is it, Emmy? How high is this triangle for me? Huh?
3.
I'm pretty sure that's 1, 2. Don't count the hash marks, count the spaces. It is too high. How wide is the triangle from here to here? Andrew? 3. So my answer is 2, 3, yes?
Yes.
No, it is not. Because the last thing you always must check to see is, do you have the positive or negative slope right? And this line from left to right is going downhill, so it has to be a negative slope. Are we making some sort of headway progress at slash anything? Yes. Ready? One more. There's my rectangular coordinate system. Here is my line. Which I kind of drifted, didn't I? Wait, let's go up into the same one. Oh, I missed all the way to the other, didn't I? Let's try this one more time. Wait, was this point here?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, was it right here? I'm sorry. Okay, right now, let's call that a day. Let's pretend that that line actually went through where it was supposed to. Let's see how many people get this right. Y equals mx plus b. Oh, b. Who won the netball game, by the way?
I think pretty sure the
Who did the
She said it was a
pink?
tie.
pennies.
She said it was a tie.
Yeah, that was. But it wasn't getting back.
What do we have for an equation for that one? What is my linear equation? Anybody? Right there. Pretty close.
Yes.
Let's go with Leighton. Leighton, what do you say? Y equals what?
Y equals negative 1/8 x plus 4.
Who's jumping on the Leighton Purdue bandwagon? Ruh-roh, Leighton. Who's got something else out there? Young Joseph.
Y equals 1/7 x plus 4.
Who's jumping on the Joseph bandwagon? Not everybody. Bevins? What do you have?
1/8.
Just have 1/8?
No. Y equals 1/8 plus 4.
1/8x plus 4?
Yes.
Alright, first of all, why can we rule out Leighton's right away? We can rule out Leighton's because he has negative slope, and our line is definitely going uphill, so it has to be positive slope. Now we just have to figure out, is it 1/7 or 1/8? If I draw my triangle here on my not very good line, it is certainly one high. How wide is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It should be, I believe, young Joseph's issue there. How about that? Oh boy. Alright, and then last piece of note, paper, children. I don't remember, maybe we've talked about this before. Write down on your paper special cases.
So we need a piece of paper?
No, they put this in linear equation. Here are your two special cases that you'll need to know. Here is graph number 1. And here is, I thought we did this, but maybe this was 8th grade. Here is graph number 2. Here is line number 1. And here is line number 2. If I asked you to give the linear equations for these two lines, any ideas what this would be? Now, before you answer that, let's look at some points on the line. I'm just going to, you don't have to do this, I just want you to think about this. What is this point right here? Tell me what the coordinates of that point is. Somebody? Joseph?
-3, 1.
Negative 3 and 1. What is the coordinates of this point right there, Caleb? Picture?
Negative 2. Sorry, negative 3.
What is the coordinates of that point right there? Similar.
-3, -2. No, -3, -2.
No boy. What is the coordinates of that point right there? Cassandra? Well, +4, isn't it now? Guess what the equation for that line is? Stunning. No matter what y is, x is what?
-2.
If it is a vertical line, all vertical lines are x equal lines. Okay. If I asked you, by the well, I can't. Oh, sure, why not? How about this? Just because you are smarter than most seventh grade classes I have this year. If I asked you to give me the slope of this line, what is the slope of that line? Remember, it's rise over run. How high is that line? Oh boy, Warren. How high is this line? Which is, we call what? Yeah, it's infinitely high. But the real kicker is, how wide is that? How wide? We're supposed to make a triangle. How wide is that? What's that?
There is no wide.
It is absolutely not. It is 0 wide. It has no width. Now, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the little 10 commandments of math over there. What's the first rule?
Thou shalt not divide by 0.
Which is what this is. This is some number. A fraction is no more than a division problem. Some number divided by 0. When you have some number divided by 0, you cannot do the problem. This line right here, a vertical line, has what we call no slope, or you could call it undefined slope. Just put it in your notes, just accept it. Okay, vertical lines have no slope or undefined slope because you can't really do a slope with it because there's no width to that. You can't have a 0 on the bottom. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, am I the only one excited about this?
I'm sorry.
I know. What do you suppose this equation is? If I did the same thing and I put a whole bunch of points on here and said, give me the coordinates of those points, you know, the coordinate of this point would be 0, 3. The coordinate of this point would be -1, 3. The coordinate of this point would be 3, 3. What do you suppose that, now here's where you got to make some sort of a tie-in here. What do you suppose the equation of that line is? Sometimes dramatic drum roll time. Madison?
0 on top. And
No, I didn't say the slope. I said that's the equation of that line. So I'll get to that.
Okay, then
That's my next point.
y equals 0, x, 0, 3.
Yes, and if you have, let me say, if you have 0x, what is that? So y equals,
X.
no? You said 0 times x, that's nothing. Y equals, what was your last thing you need to say? What's the y-intercept?
Y-intercept is 3.
The equation of this line is y equals 3. Y equals 3. If it is a horizontal line, that means it is a y line. Vertical lines are x equals line, horizontal lines are whatever lines. If I asked you to give the slope of that line, guess what the slope is? Ooh, this may not be a, wait, does this get over at 130?
Yes.
That is bogus at best. I need somebody besides Zach and Madison Sittler to give me a guess at what the slope of a horizontal line is, again, using it in the slope formula or rise over run format. Chase Willman. No, that's this one. It can't be the same. Think about it. Let's ask the question, how high is this line? How high is that line? It's not 3 high. You're looking at the line. You're not seeing where it starts from here. It is nothing high. How wide is that line, Joseph?
Infinite.
Infinitely wide. Now here's the question for you then. This should be how you figure it out. 0 divided by any number is 0. The slope of this line is 0. That's not what the slope of these lines were. This one had no slope and it was undefined. This has 0 slope. Those are things to put back. And that's why anytime you deal with these lines, you should really look in your notes because you probably won't pick up on this. Maybe in a couple of years it'll make more sense to you. But that's just what it is. Because on a quiz, if I give you a vertical line and ask you for its slope, don't just say, I think I know what it is. Just go back to your notes and look. And you'll see, look, no slope, or infinite slope. Or if I give you a horizontal line, you'll tell me it has 0 slope. I'm here for you, kids. You believe that, don't you?
Yes.
No, you don't. Now,